welcome back to 4F Beauty. Today I am reviewing and doing a wear time test on this Fenty foundation. I'm in shade 150, which is actually not the lightest shade, which makes a heck of a change for me. I'm normally the lightest one, and then even that is too dark or too orange. Or all praise Rihanna and Fenty for coming out with a much more inclusive foundation line. So, if you want to see how well this applies and how well it lasts, you're in just the right place. Don't go anywhere, because when will I be YouTube famous? Without you, I won't be. Here's the review. Hey, welcome back from the intro. Okay, so as discussed, I'm going to be doing a wear time test on this Fenty Beauty today. It's the Matte Pro Filter one, which I've got in shade 150. Give that a quick shake. As always, before I start, I apply this, which I use as a primer. Because of chronic pain and side effect from my meds, I suffer an awful lot with a very sweaty face. And I started to use this facial antiperspirant because basically if I didn't, I could kiss goodbye to my makeup in about an hour. And I used to put this on first and then stick a primer over the top. But I don't know whether it was a case of my fibro fog kicked in or I'd just run out of primer that day. But I wore it one day on its own. It's actually one of the best primers I've ever used. It leaves your skin ever so slightly tacky. It doesn't, although it helps reduce the amount of sweating, it doesn't block your pores or anything like that. So it's really, really, I definitely recommend it. It's only about a tenner from Amazon as well, so not majorly expensive. Right, go back to shaking this. As always, my phone case will serve as my, I think I've got fluff up my nose, I do apologise. Will serve as my little palette. And you can see this is actually quite a thick. I'm going to take 4 pumps out because you can see it's thick, but it's still running. It's not too thick. Although I prefer the look with a sponge, with a brush. I will show you the difference between a brush one side and a sponge the other. The brush shape that I've found that works best is this Real Techniques Expert Face brush. There we go. This is closest in shape to the Fenty brush that she sells with her foundation, but I wasn't going to pay 20 odd quid on a brush when I'd got one the same shape. Right, let's get you zoomed in a bit so we can start with the application. As always, start in the middle of the face and work out, because people see the middle of your face first. So if you're going to need any extra help anywhere, put it there first and then just blend it out towards the edges. This is a buildable foundation. You can get it right up to very, very full coverage. I choose not to do that simply because I'm old, and I find that very, very full coverage can settle into wrinkles by the end of the day. But this certainly gives sort of very high medium coverage just on like one coat, as you can see from the difference in the two sides already. And yes, I carry mine across my eyelid. I know a lot of people don't, but I prefer to. Using the face wipe, I'm just going to clean any cream off of or any residual foundation off of the brush. I do this as a habit, partly because it makes it easier if you want to use the brush again tomorrow. The bristles don't all stiffen up, and it also means that when you come round to doing your weekly clean of your brushes, or if you're lazy sometimes you'll do weekly clean of your brushes, there's not so much on the bristles to come out. So it makes it a much quicker job. And it does extend the life of your brushes. I mean, this Real Techniques brush I think I've had about 3 years now, and it's still absolutely bang on cracking fine, same as it was when I first got it. Right, I'm going to use this, funny enough, another Real Techniques sponge. The sponge you will find usually uses more product, that's why I pumped more out today. Normally 2 and a bit pumps will do my whole face, but because I'm doing sponge this side, and I know that it takes more of the foundation, I've pumped out a wee bit more. And you can see I'm having to dip back in quite a few times, which I didn't have to do with the brush to get the same kind of coverage. Okay, see? I mean, there's not a huge amount of difference in the two sides, to be honest. But just in case I've got any brush marks which my eyes aren't showing me, but I'm bound to see in the edit afterwards, I will just run over with a sponge on this side to even it up a little bit. I mean, you can see that goes on really quickly, it spreads out lovely. I mean, you know, I can, if I want, build this up a bit more, as I said. I'm quite happy with this level of coverage, to be quite honest. I'm going to go in with my, if I can find it, there it is, Revolution Conceal and Define in C1. I do have a habit of showing you things upside down, don't I? I do apologise. As I said before, with the big beauty gurus, of which I am not, do these huge great triangles. It's really not necessary. Waste product, settles in your fine lines, and only really looks good on camera. In real life you look like you've been hit by the blue circle cement truck. I like to use a flat foundation brush. This is the size of your concealer brush. I prefer to use the foundation brush to spread mine out. Mainly because I do the eyelids as well. I don't feel the need for a separate eyelid primer. I carry my ordinary primer, or antiperspirant in my case obviously, which I use as primer, across my face, across my lid as well. I run my foundation across it, and then I put my concealer and I set it. And for me, even though I've got quite oily eyelids, because I have got oily combo skin, I find that tends to keep it under control. I don't tend to get an awful amount of creasing by the end of the day, unless I've used a particularly bad eyeshadow palette. As you can see, I brush out across the lid, but on the under eye, which is really the thinnest part of the skin on your face, I just tap, because I don't want to pull that around any more than I have to. And obviously I'm going to clean this brush off while I finish talking to you. Okay, so that's the base on. Obviously I've not set it or anything yet. When I shall come back very, very shortly with much more makeup on, and we'll just have a little chat. The check-in time is 12:15. And as always, I will try and get 2 check-ins for you through the day so we can see how this is wearing. Okay, don't go anywhere, see you in a minute. Hello, I'm back with, as promised, more colour on my face. I used the Makeup Rev Neutrals versus Neutrals palette, one of their blushing blushers, one of their heart highlighters, and I used one of my new Colourpop's Luxe Lippies in Still Crazy. So that's the final look. Everything blended out beautifully on top of that foundation. No trouble at all. I will try and make sure I get a couple of check-ins for you again today so we can see how it wears through the day. Alright, see you at check-in number 1. Bye bye for now. Hi, check-in number 1. It is 6:15. This has been on for 6 hours. Let's zoom in and see how it's doing. I seem to get a phone call whenever I'm recording, don't I? Well, as you can see so far, doesn't appear to be settling or splitting. Still looking quite hydrated under my eyes, which is very unusual for a full coverage. Let's have a little bit of a closer look at that. Yeah, no real. I've blown my nose a couple of times today as well, so the fact that there's still foundation there, that's pretty good going. Chin still looking fine. So far, this Fenty is looking really good. Right, we'll see how it does at check-in number 2. See you soon. Bye for now. Hey, I'm back. Check-in number 2. It is 11:15 at night, so this has been on for 10.5 hours. Let's have a scoot in, see how it's doing. Well, as you can see, it's not splitting or caking at all. It's still reasonably hydrated under the eyes, which is most unusual for me. I've lost a little bit here, but as I said, I did blow my nose earlier, so. But I've still got foundation on the end of my nose and on my chin. Let's zoom back out again for my final thoughts. So, what do I think of the Fenty Pro Filter foundation? I really, really like this. I struggle with my oily combo skin to keep any kind of foundation on my face, specifically my nose. That has done so well. Admittedly, if you've got very dry skin, I think you would need to use a very hydrating primer underneath it, because I mean, as you can see, I mean, I've not touched this up at all through the day. I've not blotted, I've not added any more powder, and you know, it's kept my oils completely under control, even without doing anything to it, which there's very few foundations I can say that about with my skin. So, in this final check-in, 2 thumbs up for Fenty. Absolutely love it. So, I really hope you found this helpful. If you did, do please hit that like button and the subscribe buttons down there too. If you click that, make sure you do click the notification bell as well, and then you don't miss out on any more of the videos that I post. Well, I am going to now take all of this off my face, have a nice big glass of water and head up to bed. So I'm going to wish you a good night, good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world and what time you're watching this. See you again soon. Bye for now.